Morning.
Good morning po, sir.
May ina Abelio tsaka Makiling. Wala sa master list. Paki-send yung buong pangalan. Dun sa sa messages dito sa sa meet. Parang Abelio tsaka Makiling. In-call messages. Mati. De Jose, Daniel, okay, so far in are Abyog, Alcantara, Bahan, Banag, Banting, Basa, Bondok, Borromeo, Carlos, Castro, Cassandra, Celestino, Corcuera, De Castro, De Jose, Edic, Prejas, Laraquel, Manaday, Mangahas, Mangilaya, Matik, Nuevas, Rebelala, Rodas, Romol, Rosita. Tapos yung mga wala sa master list, galing sa Icto, Abelio, Makiling, Mongado. Merong hindi natawag, hindi na ipasok ang pangalan. Kasi 20, 29, 30, 31, 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 26. Kulang ako ng supposed to be 29. Yung reporters, pwede na. Bondo. Introduce muna yung yung pangalan bago mag-start yung report. So, first will be Bondo. Okay? Okay. Cyber security.
Rinig po ba ako maayos? Rinig po.
Okay.
Sige po. Good morning to everyone and good morning po Sir Ordona. We are the group 1 po na magpe-present about cybersecurity awareness and training. So, let's move on po. So, we have our members of the group po na si Bernard Nuevas, Eddie Daniel Rosita, Harvey Nicole Banag, Heaven Deose, and myself, Jaxel Bondok. Also, Luis Ariel Mangas, and Patricia Maricor Borromeo, then Ruel Junior Tang Edic, tsaka Tislandi Forio Romol. Yan po yung mga magdi-discuss po ng mga topic namin about po about this report po.
Ulitin ko ha. Banag, Edic, Bondok, Borromeo, Rosita, Romol, Mangahas, Nuevas. Si De Jose, yung binanggit.
Nabanggit ko po si Heaven Joseph
Nabanggit
po.
mo. Kompleto?
Kompleto po kami.
Okay, sige. Ah,
Sige po. Yan. For our topics po, first is meron kaming topics for cyber hygiene best practices. Then second is social engineering awareness. Then for the third topic is mobile device security. And pang-apat po namin is safe web browsing practices. Then pang-lima is physical security awareness. And six is incident response procedure tsaka security awareness for remote work. Then cybersecurity policies and compliance po, then in security culture and mindset. And ayan po yung overall topic na madi-discuss namin. We have 9 topics for this lesson, and so we move on forward for first topic po namin. Una po magdi-discuss is about cyber hygiene best practices na i-discuss po ni Sir Eli Daniel Rosita. Sir Eli po,
Hello po, rinig po ako.
rinig.
Good
okay.
morning po, sir. Good morning, everyone. So, we're gonna discuss about cyber hygiene best practices. Next slide, please. So, first about cyber hygiene practices is create a strong password. So, use complex password or passphrases that include a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Avoid easily guessable information like birthdays or common words. So, nagkikreate tayong strong password para hindi tayo ma-brute force attack and hindi mawalaan yung mga password natin kasi mostly common password ng mga user is yung pangalan nila then ilalagay nila yung birthday nila. So, example ng weak password to strong password is itong Kitty. Then, sa better password, dinagdagan niya ng number 1 tapos uppercase ng K. Then, sa strong password naman, yung dalawang T ginawa niyang 7, which is hard to brute force. Next slide. Enabling multi-factor authentication or MFA. So it combines two or more independent authentication factors to verify a user's identity. These factors fall into three main categories: something you know, something you have, and something you are. The first in something you know is PINs or personal identification numbers, numeric or pattern codes known only to the user. So meron yung sa cellphone, yung pattern, tsaka yung PIN. So, about something you have is OTP or one-time password. It's widely used authentication method worldwide. It helps protect accounts from unauthorized access by requesting an auto-generated temporary password that only the account holder should know. It's sent via SMS or email. Example, ito yung sa GCash. Kung magsisend ka ng pera, mag-send mo na siya ng OTP para sure na ikaw yung nagre-request. Then, next. And lastly, the something you are, which is biometrics. First is fingerprint recognition, yung fingerprint natin, which is maraming klaseng fingerprint pero may sarili-sarili tayong fingerprint. Scanning and matching fingerprints to verify a user's identity. Next is facial recognition, analyzing facial features to authenticate a user's identity. Next is voice, analyzing vocal characteristics such as pitch and tone to authenticate a user. Next. So, keep software updated. Regularly update operating system, software application, and firmware to patch known vulnerabilities and improve security. Enable automatic updates to ensure timely protection against emerging threats. So that there is not updating software is we have three types of risk. Security vulnerabilities, which is outdated software may expose system to cyber threats kasi yung mga hackers or threats is lagi silang updated sa mga software para mas advance sila sa mga ibang user. Next is performance issues. Neglected updates can degrade software efficiency and data loss. Failure to update might result in critical data compromise.
Excuse me. Ano yung sabihin yung critical data compromise?
Ah, wait lang po. Ano po siya, sir? If someone individual access secure or confidential data, uh, now
So what happens dun sa how is your how is the critical data compromise?
pag ano po, sir, pag hindi po nakapatch yung software, so madali pong ma-compromise yung mga data nyo. Tapos pwede pong ma-compromise po. Pwede rin pong pwede rin pong manakaw siya, theft or loss, makuha sa makuha ng mga unauthorized individuals. Kasi po hindi po updated yung software.
Okay. So pakibalik mo nga dun sa yung after ng biometrics, yung sa security. Yan, yung Okay, forward isa pa.
Next, pero.
Yan. Ay, isa pa yung yung may fingerprint.
Sa biometrics.
Yan, yung multi-factor MFA authentication. Ba meron kayo diyang, yung next. May fingerprint. Yan. Yung tatlo lang, fingerprint, recognition, facial, tsaka voice. We're talking here about, online, o yung actual na paggawa ng password.
Ano po siya? Example po, yung sa cellphone. 'Di ba kadalasan na po ngayon yung sa pag-enter ng password is fingerprint sa cellphone po.
Oo nga. So yung tatlong yun lang, wala yung sa iris scan, mga ganon, hindi pa
Ay,
kaya.
mga
Sa
basic
mata.
lang po itong nilagay ko. Kasi po
Pero sa iba kaya, hindi. Kailangan talaga actual na ma-scan yung iris
sa
mo.
mga ibang companies po, mga professional, meron pong ganun.
Pwede. Kahit na through lang, mobile.
Sa mobile po, di po ako sure.
Hindi ba? Wala pang
Ako po.
Okay, sige. Tuloy mo na.
So be cautious of suspicious emails and links. So exercise caution when opening email attachment or clicking on links, especially if they are from unknown or suspicious sources. Beware of phishing emails designed to trick users into revealing sensitive information or downloading malware. So example nitong mga links and emails is ito, kunyari, mapunta kayo sa isang website tapos biglang may magpa-pop up na links. Ito yung example sa right side bottom. Ayan. Ibibid ka nila na kunwari nagbibigay sila ng ticket, 500. Tapos,
Hmm.
maano ka naman, mabibait ka. Kiklik mo yung link kasi libre. Tapos, after you click the link, kailangan mong maglagay ng mga data information mo. After nun, nabigay mo na sa hacker yung mga information mo. Halimbawa sa bank account or ibang accounts, pwede ka nila makuhaan ng pera doon. So how to avoid phishing attack? First is think before you click. So kung di mo naman kailangan or hindi naman siya ganun ka interested sa'yo, wag mo na i-click. Then, never give out personal information to untrusted sources. Wag po tayong basta-basta magbigay ng information sa mga hindi legit o hindi sikat na mga website or anything.
Okay. What if, ano ba, nagkamali ka, na-excite ka, naibigay mo yung partial ng information mo, is that, delikado pa rin ba yun? Anong dapat mong gawin? May nakalagay kasi, ginamit for example, Banco de Oro yung may heading, tapos, walang binigay na, hindi siya cell number. Tapos nakapagbigay ka, biglang mo naisip na ko, baka ano to, aayaw ka na, paano gagawin mo?
Ah.
Iyon. Aalis ka na lang or may kailangan kang pindutin or what?
Kailangan mo po siyang i-report may ano po rin, may process po sa pag-report eh.
Oh, meron kayo dyan?
Wala, di ko po siya nalagay.
Yan. Dapat meron kayo niyan.
My bad po sir.
O, ilalagay ko dito wala kayong process of reporting. Baka may habol sa next
Sige sir, pwede ko po habol. So next is be wary of pop-up.
Sandali. Aside from reporting, ikaw mismo bilang individual na click mo or what? Stop ka na lang or
Pwede pong i-stop mo na lang para hindi ka na po makapagbigay ng ibang information.
kailangan
Sige po,
kahit na makabigay ka ng partial basta wag mo may bigay lahat ng kailangan niya.
Opo. Kasi
Hindi
hindi niya rin po pwedeng makuha yung ibang accounts mo nang hindi kompleto yung information niya.
Okay, sige.
Continue na po, sir.
Okay, sige, continue.
So next is be wary of pop-ups or black pop-ups. So sa browse natin, pwede nating ayusin sa settings na i-block yung pop-ups, which is good kasi hindi nalalabas yung mga bait links. Yan. Then sa suspicious emails naman, most common nangyayari dito is sa mga bank. Halimbawa, may nag-email sa'yo, yung BDO, na may kailangan kang bayaran, pinagmamadali ka na bayaran, na pag hindi ka nag-response agad sa email na yon or pinindot yung mga link sa email na yon is mabablock yung bank account
Account.
mo.
Ah,
Yes. Isa yun sa mga tricks ng mga hacker para mabait ka,
okay.
para makuha yung mga information mo. Ayun po sir.
Hmm.
Next reporter, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Seven Diose, and I'm going to report about social engineering awareness. Next, please. What is social engineering attack? A social engineering attack is a type of cyber attack that manipulates individuals into divulging sensitive information, performing certain actions, or providing access to systems or networks. Yung social engineering attack is unlike an traditional hacking methods that exploits technological vulnerabilities. Yung social engineering attacks, ine-exploit niya yung human psychology and behavior rather than technological vulnerabilities.
Okay.
In a social engineering attack, the attacker typically uses various psychological tactics to gain the trust of the victim or to create a sense of urgency, fear, or curiosity, thereby convincing the victim to comply with their requests. Yung tactics nito may include impersonation, manipulation, deception, and persuasion. Next. Common social engineering tactics. 1. Phishing. Phishing involves sending fraudulent communications that appears to be the reputable sources. These messages often prompt recipients to reveal sensitive information or click on malicious links. Yung example nito is an email supposedly from a bank asking the recipient to verify their account details by clicking the link, which leads to a fake website designed to steal login credentials. Ayun nga, pag nagki-click ka ng account, dapat chine-check mo muna yung kung legit ba yung source.
Okay.
2. Pretexting. Pretexting involves creating a fabricated scenario to manipulate individuals into disclosing information or performing actions. Pretexting example, an attacker posing as an IT technician contacts an employee claiming to need their login credentials to fix technical issues. Next. Baiting. Baiting involves enticing victims with something desirable to trick them into divulging information or performing actions. Example nito is leaving infected USB drives in public areas labeled as confidential salary information in the hope that someone will pick them up and plug them into their computer, thus infecting the system. Tailgating involves physically following an authorized person into a restricted area by pretending to be someone else. Example nito
Yung physically talagang ginagawa, no?
yes
Actual.
po sir. Actual po
Okay.
siya, hindi po siya cyber. Kadalasan po parang scam lang po siya.
Hmm.
Tailgating. Yung example nito yung mga nagpe-pretend na bilang employee kagaya ng delivery person or mga visitors ng isang company. Once inside ng company, parang yung attacker may gain access to sensitive information or systems. Next.
Okay.
Recognizing social engineering attacks. Urgency. Attackers often create a sense of urgency to pressure victims into acting quickly. Ito yung pinagmamadali ka nila para di ka makapag-isip ng maayos. Kaya pag may nagpapamadali sa'yo na walang reason, mostly scam yun. Request for information. Be cautious of requests for sensitive information, especially if they come from unexpected or unverified sources. Ito naman pag hinihingi nila yung important details mo, dapat alam din natin kung legit ba yung organization o trusted yung nanghihingi bago natin ibigay yung information. Suspicious URLs. Verify the authenticity of URLs before clicking on them, especially in emails or messages. Gaya nga ng sabi ni Mr. Rosita kanina, dapat chine-check muna natin yung legit ba yung pinanggalingan ng link bago natin i-click yung link para hindi tayo ma-scam. Yung sa reporting nito, meron reporting, pwede natin to i-report sa authorities. Meron kasing mga cyber link na pwede nating i-report. Kagaya sa Google. Next. Best practices for prevention. Awareness training. Educate users about social engineering tactics and how to recognize and respond to them. 2. Verify requests. Always verify the identity of individuals making requests for sensitive information or action, especially if they seem suspicious. 3. Think before clicking. Encourages users to think critically before clicking on links or downloading attachment, especially if they are unexpected or from unknown sources. Next.
Ano na next? So, about kanina, sir, sa process ng report, sir, kanina. Ito po. So, first, don't respond. Kung nakapaglagay ka na po ng data, pwede pa rin pong iwan mo na lang, don't response. Tapos next po, don't open any links or attachment na connected doon sa email. Tapos report the email as phishing. After nun, delete the message na po. Ayun po. Naka-off mic ka po, sir, kung nagsasalita ka.
So, kailangan mo munang i-report before you delete?
Apo.
Kailangan ba talaga yan? Okay.
Apo, sir. Para,
Meron namang, paano yung reporting dun sa Meron bang agency o dun mismo sa entity or what? Sa may report?
sa mismong Gmail po, pwede po siyang i-report doon.
Doon sa Gmail na yun nagpadala,
Support po ng Gmail para hindi na po nila maulit sa ibang user.
sa Gmail. So, okay, sige.
Ayun po. Thank you po.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, okay, sandali, sandali. Eh, kung nag-update siya, ikaw hindi, vulnerable ka pa rin? Kasi sabi mo, parang iniwanan niya yung ano mo, eh, 'di ba? Parang andun ka pa rin sa dati, siya nag-advance na. So, hindi na kayo hindi niya na maha-hack kung makukuha yung information sa'yo or what? Hindi, I mean ano, baliktad. Sabi mo kasi sumasabay yung mga hacker sa pag-update. Eh, kung hindi ka mag-update para ano, para hindi mauna na siya, parang gano'n. Ah, okey, okey. Hindi, inano ko lang yung sinabi mo kanina na ano, kapagka nag-update ka, update din yung ano, yung hacker. Sabihin 'pag tumigil ka, eh, siya tuloy-tuloy yung update, 'di na kayo magkalinya. Sige, okey na. Ah, okey. Hmm, Ah, hindi, excuse. How would you know na yung data storage mo hindi na siya ano, hindi na siya secure? May may nag-a-alert ba yung ano, yung sa phone mo or what? Okey. Okey. Hmm. Na mag-notify naman or alert, okey. Hmm, okey.
So, good morning, everyone. Good morning to sir. So, I will be discussing safe web browsing practices. Um, so, yun nga, identifying malicious websites is important para sa online security natin and privacy. So, kailangan natin aralin or i-practice tong safe web browsing para maiwasan natin yung threats and attacks, online scams or yung mga fraud. Okay, next slide po. Next slide. So for number one, we have use secure websites. So, ayun, katulad nga na nasabi ni Sir Eli kanina, we should visit sites na may HTTPS or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So, ito yung secure version of HTTP. It is the protocol over which the data is sent between your browser and the website you are connected to. So, websites that use HTTPS encrypts the data transmitted between the user and the server, making it more difficult for hackers to intercept and access your sensitive informations like yung login credentials mo, yung credit card details, and personal information. So when we visit a website, we should always look for the HTTPS and in the URL and yung padlock icon in the address bar. Kasi this indicates na secure yung connection where the data is transmitted between your browser and the website is encrypted. And we should also avoid entering sensitive information on websites na walang HTTPS. Kasi uh, by using HTTPS, mapoprotektahan natin yung sensitive information natin, ma-maintain natin yung privacy natin online, and ma-reduce natin yung risk na maging biktima from cyber threats. So second, katulad nga ng na-mention din nila, we should always keep our softwares updated. So we should regularly update our web browser, operating system, and antivirus software. So kasi yung updates, it includes security patches na nagpo-protect ng ano natin from newly discovered vulnerabilities. So we should always ensure that we have up-to-date antivirus and firewall protection. Since threats can be hidden in the most reputable website or files, and ensuring na meron tayong protected na tayo ay protected with smart antivirus platform. Um, sorry, wait lang. So, ayun nga, yung importance kasi nito is every time we are visiting a website or running an application, nade-detect niya yung attack bago pa, yung possible attack or threat bago pa mangyari. Next slide po. So the third is use ad blockers. So ad blockers can help prevent malicious advertisements and scripts from running on websites, reducing the risk of malware infections or unauthorized data collection. So an ad blocker is a simple tool which integrates with your browser and uses a number of filters to block specific contents. So when we visit websites kasi, may times na may mga ads na nagpa-pop up and then yung ads na yun, pag clinic mo, may possible na may ma-download ka or mapunta ka sa sites na hindi naman secure. So, yung ad blocker, it removes the distracting ads and makes pages easier to read and blocks fake news. So, kasi nga, yung mga ad na yan, they can contain malvertising. So, by using ad blocker, it removes the malvertising and it can prevent you from going to or visiting dangerous contents. So fourth, be wary of downloading things online. So websites that offers free downloads may also be harboring malicious software that is designed to infect and harm your computer or device. So this can also lead to your personal information being compromised and your device becoming unusable. So downloading contents from websites without permission or proper licensing can also lead to legal consequences. So marami kasing website na nag-offer ng copyrighted material na pwede natin i-download illegally. So engaging in piracy can also result in fines. So yung piracy, it is an illegal way of copying protected content that infringes on the owner's copyright, costing them a potential sale. So it is important to respect copyright laws and only download content from websites that have the necessary permissions and right to distribute the material. Next slide. So using strong passwords. So as mentioned kanina, creating strong passwords is important for safe web browsing to prevent unauthorized access to your accounts. So, yun nga, the stronger the password is, the more protected you will be from malicious activity. So, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung password natin ng paulit-ulit and dapat kapag gagawa tayo ng password, dapat siya ay unique. Hindi dapat siya common or mabilis mahulaan ng iba para sa security natin. So, yun nga, a strong password combination, dapat nagko-contain siya ng special characters, symbols, uppercase, and digits. As long as hindi siya mabilis mahulaan, wait lang po sir. Tuwanag yung Jolly. So for the sixth one, so we should also disable the password saving feature in our browser. Kasi when we visit websites, tapos magla-login ka doon, meron din kasi lumalabas na direct na magla-login ka na, isi-save mo na lang yung email tsaka password mo. So, it can be convenient to save your passwords in your browser, pero hindi siya secure na practice na lagi natin gagawin. So, we should always disable the autofill feature for our passwords and be cautious of websites that you save your login credentials. Kasi, malaki yung possibility na pag nawala yung phone mo, yung gadget mo, or may ibang taong gumamit ng device mo, malalagin nila agad yung yung account mo. Mabivisit nila yung mga sites na hindi naman dapat nila napapakialaman or nabivisit. So, isa siyang malaking security risk. Kasi, ayun nga, malalagin ng ibang tao yung accounts mo without needing to know the password kasi rerekta na sila doon. Next po.
So, kailangan talaga memorize mo lang, no?
Yes po, sir. Pwede mo naman kung sir, kumbaga, save mo siya sa notes mo or what. Pero
Ayun
kasi,
nga.
malaki po kasi yung risk na, mangyayari if isi-save mo yung passwords mo.
Hindi rin pala advisable gumamit ng paulit-ulit yung password
Yes po, sir.
sa different accounts. Hindi pwede.
Opo, sir. Hindi po siya advisable. Pwede mo siyang gawin, sir, pero hindi siya talaga advisable kasi once na malaman ng ibang tao yung password mo, malaki yung possibility na
Lahat
itatry
ng
nilang
accounts
buksan
mo.
yung iba mong yun.
Okay.
So,
Edit.
good morning.
Edit na.
Okay po, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruel Edic, and I will discuss physical security awareness. So, physical security awareness is the knowledge, understanding, and practices that individuals and organizations use to protect physical assets, facilities, and personnel from unauthorized access, theft, vandalism, or harm. It entails being aware of potential security threats and taking proactive steps to reduce risk. So physical security awareness encompasses various aspects including access control, perimeter security, surveillance, security policies and procedures, security training, next please, Inci- incident response, physical safeguards, and environmental controls. So sa access control, implementing measures such as keycards, biometric scanner, or security guards to control who can enter specific areas and or facilities. So madalas itong yung keycards and biometrics is makikita sa mga malalaking kumpanya. Then next is perimeter security, securing the boundaries of boundaries of a facility with fences, gates, barriers, or surveillance system to deter unauthorized access. Ito naman yung mga facilities na merong mga fences, gates, and barriers. Surveillance, using cameras, sensor, or other monitoring system to detect and record suspicious activity or breaches in security. So, ito naman, sa surveillance naman, ito yung mga ginagamit ng mga security guard, security camera. Then yung sa sensor, madalas itong makikita nyo sa kapag papasok kayo sa mga mall, yung mga may metal detector. Ayun. Then next slide, please. So, security policies and procedures, establishing clear guidelines and protocols for employees to follow regarding security practices, emergency response, and reporting suspicious behavior. So, mahalaga sa employee na may sinusundan na policies and procedures regarding security practices. Next is security training, providing employees with education and training on recognizing security threats, responding to emergencies, and adhering to security protocols. So, isa ito sa mahalaga para sa employee para ma-recognize nila yung security threats and makapag-respond agad sila sa mga emergencies. Next is incident response. Having plans and procedures in place to respond effectively to security incidents such as break-ins, theft, or threats to personnel. So ito yun naman yung mga plano and procedure para solusyonan nila ng maayos yung mga security incidents. Next slide please. Next slide po. Sa physical safeguards, implementing measures such as locks, safes, alarm, and fire suppression system to protect asset and personnel. So ito naman, makikita natin to sa halos sa lahat ng mga lugar na kailangan talaga ng mga lock safes. Okay. So environmental control, managing factors like lighting, temperature, and ventilation to enhance security and safety within the facilities. Next slide, please. So overall, physical security awareness is important for maintaining a safe and secure environment, reducing vulnerabilities, and safeguarding assets and personnel from potential threats. It requires ongoing vigilance, education, and adaptation to evolving security risks and challenges. Next reporter, please.
Wait.
Okay, sir.
Ano bang difference ng safe tsaka secure?
Ano po, sir?
Difference ng safe tsaka secure.
So, sa ano po kasi, sa safe, ano ba? Ayun po yung parang halimbawa po may mga nagtatangkang parang physical na may magtatangka sa yung mangharm sa'yo.
Okay?
Tama. Then sa secure naman po, yun sa I think yun po yung yung para yung alam mo na talaga na yung dito safe talaga, then parang ayun yung kaalaman mo, ay yung knowledge para na safe yung isang na yun.
So, yung safety is parang general condition, no, na
Yes,
walang harm. Pero security is parang you're safe
yung
from
kaalaman.
outside, yung mga mag-a-attack sa'yo, yung mga may mga devices ka, may mga plano ka or whatever para hindi ka vulnerable. Yung bali
Yes,
secure ka. Okay? Sige.
Thank you po. Next reporter, please.
For the incident response procedure, next na.
Nuevas.
What is incident response procedure? Incident response, or IR, is the process by which an organization handles a data breach or cyber attack. It is an effort to quickly identify an attack, minimize its effects, contain damage, and remediate the cause to reduce the risk of future incidents. Next.
Gaano kabilis dapat ang identification?
Ano pa, sir?
Gaano kabilis ang pag-identify dapat? Gaano kabilis dapat?
Ano po, sir? Parang as long as makita nyo na po yung dapat i-prevent, sir, i-prevent na po. Kasi mas pangit po yun kapag late nyo na po na nalaman. Mas
So,
lalaki po yung problem.
Walang standard, for example, ganitong case, dapat within minutes nakuha mo na. Ganitong case, dapat within an hour. Mga ganun. Wala naman.
Wala naman po, sir. Kasi mas okay po yung mas mabilis, sir.
kaysa yung patatagalin pa po.
Okay. So wala siyang ano, walang binigay na mga standards. Okay? Sige.
There are two types of incident response procedure. The first one is preventive incident response procedure. Focuses on implementing measure to proactively prevent potential incidents. Involve activities such as regular security assessment, vulnerability scanning, and employee training. Yung sa dito naman po dito sa preventive po, tinitake charge niya agad yung mga upcoming na problem para ma-implement po. Next page. The second one is reactive incident response procedure. Activated in response to a security incident or breach. Involves steps like detection, containment, eradication, recovery, and lesson learned. Focuses on minimizing damage, restoring services, and preventing future occurrences through analysis and improvement. Dito naman po, sir, kumbaga napasok na po yung na-breach na po yung system nila, tapos tsaka lang po sila gagawa ng ng backup po.
So reactive na after nang may nangyari,
Opo, sir.
saka lang siya kikilos. Steps ba yan? Yung eradication, detection, containment, eradication?
Sir, meron po akong step na provided po. Next slide po.
Next slide. Okay.
How many steps does the incident response procedure have? Incident response procedure typically consists of several key steps, commonly ranging from 4 to 7 stages. Nakadepende po ito sa incident na mangyayari, sir. These steps generally include identification, containment, eradication, recovery, investigation, communication, and preparation. The exact number of steps may vary based on the specific framework or model used by an organization. Next slide.
At pag apat lang, ano yung mga yon? Kasi yan 7 yan eh. Identification. Paano pag apat lang?
Kapag yung apat naman po, sir, parang ano po siya eh, kumbaga po sa business po, kung kailangan lang po i-identify, tapos gawa ng recovery, tapos investigate, tapos communication po dun sa sa stakeholder po nung nyo. Pwede naman po gawing apat. O kaya preparation po.
Ano yung apat na yan? Ano nga alisin mo dyan o may bagong set of steps?
Ano po, sir?
Kasi yung binigay mo 7.
Opo, sir.
Identify, contain, eradicate, recover, investigate, communicate, and prepare. Paano pag apat lang? Ano yung apat? Andyan din ba yung apat na yan o may panibagong mga steps?
Pwede pong alisin yung tatlo, sir. Nakadepende po.
Wala, basta bahala yung...
Depende po sa sir, sa incident na mangyayari.
What do you mean by alam na natin identification. Ano yung containment? How do you contain?
Wait lang po, sir.
Eradication, clear naman yan. Eradicate, alisin. Yung containment, yung recovery.
Parang po siya, controlling, sir. Limiting para sa nililimit niya po yung pag-spread ng problem, sir.
So hanggang dun lang yung dapat, no?
Opo, sir.
Pag na-limit mo na-identify mo, napigil mo, na-contain mo eh. Tandaan gano'n. Ano yung recovery?
Recovery naman po sa kapag nag-fail yung ginawa niyo pong mga step. Mga backup niyo po yun, sir. Meron po kayong backup.
May backup. Tapos investigate mo kung paano nangyari.
Yes po.
Para malaman at hindi na maulit.
Opo, sir.
Kung mga dahilan. Tapos
Yes po.
i-communicate, papaalam mo.
Opo. Parang bankruptcy, sir.
Preparation.
Po?
Preparation.
Sa una po, sir, para preparation po, kumbaga blueprint po nung gagawin yung business, ganun. Planning po.
Dun sa ano, kaya may preparation. Hindi ba yung preparation for another uh, security?
Hindi po, sir. Meron po akong pagkakasunod-sunod, sir, sa next slide po.
Okay, sige. Sige.
Next slide. Ito po yun, sir.
Ayun.
Number one, preparation. Establish an incident response team with defined roles and responsibilities. Develop an incident response plan outlining procedures, communication, protocols, and escalation paths. Number two, identification. Detect and recognize signs of a potential security incident through monitoring systems, alerts, or reports. Use intrusion detection systems, logs, and other tools to identify unusual or suspicious activity. Next slide.
So yun pala yung, dapat pala nasa una yun.
Opo, sir, nagkamali lang po sa PPT, sir.
Kaya pala ako nalito eh. Sabi ko ba na ito preparation na to? Okay.
Number
Okay.
three. Number three, containment. Isolate affected systems to prevent the spread of the incident. Implement temporary fixes or workarounds to limit further damage while maintaining essential services. Number four, eradication. Identify and remove the root cause of the incident from the environment. Implement long-term solution to prevent the same incident from occurring again. Recovery. Restore system and service to normal operation. Validate the environment is functioning securely and efficiently. Next slide.
So meron kang,
Number six.
hindi lang sapat yung short term. Hindi mo lang pwedeng nagawa mo. Kailangan meron kang long term, na? Hindi
Opo, sir.
pwedeng, okay.
Number six, investigation. Conduct a thorough analysis of the incident, including the methods used, affected systems, and data compromise. Gather evidence for potential legal or disciplinary actions. Review what happened and figure out what can be done better. 7. Communication. Inform internal stakeholders, including management and relevant teams, about the incident. Communicate with internal parties such as law enforcement or regulatory bodies if required. Thank you po. Next reporter, please.
So clear naman yung communication, within tsaka sa labas, no? Kailangan ng communication is clear.
Yes po, sir.
Internal tsaka external parties. Alam niyo naman
Yes.
ibig sabihin ng stakeholders. Wala namang question dyan. Class, alam niyo na ibig sabihin ng stakeholders. Okay? Sige, tuloy. Romol.
Good morning, sir. I'm Dislandi Romol. Thank you, Mr. Bern Nuevas. Next, please. I'm reporting about how to securing home networks. The first one is router security. Encourage employees to change default router password, enable WPA2 or WPA3 encryption, and update firmware regularly to mitigate potential vulnerabilities. Sa router security, sir, is kailangan mo dapat maging updated tayo doon and protect natin yung mga yung access ng mga magiging na magko-connect dito para para ma-prevent natin yung pwedeng mangyari, like may makapasok na potential viruses or may mag-hack sa atin para hindi tayo ganun ka-apektado pag nagkaroon siya ng problem.
Sino mag-change ng balik mo nga sa una, yung encourage mo to change default router password? Sino mag-change niyan?
yung ano sir, kung sa bahay po mangyayari yun, yung mismo may-ari po.
Hindi, sa office,
Dapat
sa office.
ako sa office po yung mismong mga IT or admin po na
Hindi.
may alam. Opo, IT
Hindi,
professional po or yung
kailangan
mga may
informed yung ano, okay?
opo.
Sige, sige.
Then the next one is firewall protection. Enable firewalls on home routers to prevent unauthorized access to network devices and data. Then dito naman po sa firewall protection is from home po is kailangan natin na laging updated yung ating firewall or naka-on to. Dahil nga po sa for personal use naman yung PC natin or laptop, ini-encourage pa rin natin na dapat naka-on yung firewall protection. Then kung sa company naman po, dapat kailangan lagi po talagang updated dahil sinasabi to ng mga IT IT admin or mga professional doon na kailangan safety na. Then sila din po mismo yung gagawa nito dahil sila yung mas nakakaalam kung paano i-access or paano mag-update nito.
Yan bang firewall protection, hindi yan installed with the unit pag bumili ka? Kailangan mong install pa yan ng professionals or what?
Kailangan po pa ano to sir i-install. Yung iba po minsan sa like sa Microsoft po and naka-ano na po siya, install na talaga. Then sa ibang
Ah,
device po kailangan talaga i-install. May difference po talaga sila.
may difference siya. Kailangan i-install. Kailangan mag-hire ka ng professional talaga.
Opo sir, depende po sa paggagamitan kasi. Pag from
O
home
sa
lang
bahay
naman
lang.
po, PC owner ka lang po, may naka-offer
Oh,
na po kay Microsoft na talagang ano na siya, download na talaga. Kasama na po.
siyempre,
Then
pag sa
pag
office,
na
business, kailangan talaga pagagawa mo talaga yan.
opo sir, kailangan po talaga ng IT professional.
Okay?
Then the next one is guest network. Encourage the
Ay,
creation of separate.
if I may
Yes sir.
interrupt. Hanggang
Yes
saan
sir.
ba ang protection na ibibigay ng firewall?
Yung protection po,
Oh.
yung hanggang saan yung magiging protection ng firewall is
Mm.
yung user din sa mga data po. Devices nito kung magiging prevented po ito.
Okay, so it protects as far as yung system na ginagawa mo, yung existing system. Hindi lang siya mga data, no?
Yes po sir.
Okay, sige.
The next one is guest network. Encourage the creation of separate guest network to isolate personal and work devices from potential threats. Then this one guest network is kailangan natin magkaroon ng separate na network from example public or then private po. Sa guest network kasi vulnerability dito yung mga nasa public na magko-connect sa network kasi nga mas nakikita to ng mga hacker kasi nga nasa public lang unlike sa magiging private to na more secure other than guest network. And also sa home sir, kailangan din natin ng ganito na guest network and private network para
Okay.
mas makaiwas tayo sa potential threats na mangyayari.
Pati pala sa ano. Okay.
The next one is VPNs, virtual private networks. Encryption emphasizes the importance of using VPNs to encrypt internet traffic, ensuring data privacy and security, especially when accessing sensitive company resources. Like said dito sa company resources, sir, is kailangan natin i-encrypt yung mga bawat data or password na kailangan hindi malalaman ng mga hacker kasi potentially pwede ito maging threat sa company and maging cause pa ng malaking problema na gawan sila ng ransom dahil nga nakita nila or nabuksan nila yung mga sensitive files na kailangan talagang secure para sa isang company. The next one is authentication. encourage the use of multi-factors authentication (MFA) when connecting through VPNs to add an extra layers. We have example of types of authentication: ATM card, password or PIN, fingerprint, or face voice, then GPS signal, IP address, or physical or MAC addresses. The next one is VPN updates. Advise employees to keep VPN software updated to patch any known vulnerabilities and maintain optical security. Like said ng kaklase ko kanina na kailangan natin maging update yung mga VPN natin kasi nga pag hindi tayo updated, tas updated yung hacker, mas vulnerabilities tayo na mas ma-hack or magkaroon ng potential threats. Next, please. Maintaining security protocols. Strong passwords remind employees to use strong, unique password for work accounts and devices, and consider implementing password manager for enhancing security. May kita nyo dito sa picture, sa tabi nito, sa right side na merong example dito ng password kung paano magiging strong yung password nyo. Kasi kung puro word lang siya, madali lang siyang madi-decrypt ng isang hacker. Pero pag nakaganito siya, may halong uppercase. Sa example lang naman, kung may uppercase, lowercase, then other symbols is mapapadali siya.
Okay.
The next one is software updates. Stress the importance regularly updating operating system, application, and security software to patch known vulnerabilities to defend against emerging threats. Sa software updates is yung mga mismong mga owner ang kailangan mag-update nito or IT professional. Pero yung pinaka-site mismo is yung mismong may-ari talaga nung mga app like Chrome, sila mismo, Google, sila mismo yung mag-update nun para pag nag-update na yun mga yun, mas madadagdag yung security and less threat na mangyayari para sa mga user na gagamit nito. The next one is data backup. Encourage regularly backups of important work, data secure cloud storage, or external drives to mitigate the risk of data loss due to cyber attacks or system failures. Dito sa data backup is kailangan natin ng other or copy ng information or data na gusto natin magkaroon ng backup. Like example is yung codes mo, kung programmer ka, kailangan mo ng backup para magkaroon ka ng peace of mind na kapag mali yung ang nangyari sa code mo is nag-error, may babalikan kang code na ito yung naging ano mo. Then, pwede rin tayo gumamit ng ng USB para mas lalo tayong magkaroon ng backup devices or yun. The last one is risks associated with public Wi-Fi and personal devices. First one is public Wi-Fi security. Caution employees against using public Wi-Fi networks for work-related tasks as they are often insecure and prone to interception by cyber criminals. Ito nga yung sinasabi ko kanina na kapag sa public yung Wi-Fi mo, mas may potential threat na makita nila din yung mga data or information ng mga company nyo, lalo na kung work-related talaga siya na ginagamit. The next one is personal device security. Advise employee to implement security measure on personal devices used for work, such as installing antivirus software, enabling device encryption, and utilizing remote wipe capabilities in case of loss or theft. This one is personal device security is kailangan natin magkaroon ng security na like sa cellphone, kailangan mo ng password kasi lalo na kung merong work-related task na nandyan sa phone mo, at para hindi siya magkaroon ng loss or hindi makita yung ano mo, yung mga information about sa company mo dahil minsan naglalagay talaga tayo sa mga personal phones natin or PC natin ng mga information na sa company natin na makakatulong talaga sa atin. And that's all. Please, next reporter.
Cybersecurity policies and compliance. Next page. Importance of cybersecurity policies. Cybersecurity policies serve as the cornerstone of our digital defense strategy, safeguarding against evolving cyber threats. Employees from the frontline defense necessitating their adherence to these policies to mitigate risk effectively. Real-world examples underscore the repercussion of lax cybersecurity policies, emphasizing the paramount importance of robust measures. Organizational cybersecurity policies.
Sandali.
Back, tol, back.
Dahan-dahan lang. Huwag ka masyadong nagmamadali.
These are guidelines and procedure put in place by an organization to safeguard its information system and data. They typically cover a wide range of topics including access control, data encryption, incident response, password management, network security, and software updates. These policies are designed to mitigate risk and ensure that employees understand how to handle sensitive information securely. Next page. Acceptable use policies or AUP. Acceptable use policies delineate permissible and prohibited activities guiding employees in responsible resource utilization. By adhering to AUP, employees contribute to maintaining a secure and productive digital environment. Example of prohibited activities underscore that direct impact on organizational security, enforcing the necessity of compliance. An acceptable use policy outlines that what employees are allowed and not allowed to do with the organization's IT resources. It defines acceptable behavior regarding the use of company. Dito sa AUP pa lang. AUP. Yan. It defines acceptable behavior regarding the use of company devices, network, internet access, email, and other technology resources. AUPs help prevent misuse of resources, reduce security risk, and ensure that employees understand the expectation for responsible and secure use of technology. Next page. Compliance requirements. Compliance requirements encompass industry standards, e.g. ISO 27001, NIST, cybersecurity framework, and legal regulation. Adherence to this standard is imperative to mitigate legal risks, safeguard sensitive data, and preserve organizational reputation. Employees must understand the implication of non-compliance in their daily operations, underscoring the collective responsibility in maintaining regulatory adherence. Many industries are...
Okay, sandali. Yan bang compliance na yan? Sinet ba yan? May nakabukas na ibang ano? Nag-i-echo.
Ano po, sir?
Nag-i-echo.
Nag-e-echo po. Ayan, sir, di na.
Dalawa. Okay na?
Okay na, sir.
Oo nga, nag-i-echo. May dalawang bukas na device.
Isa lang, sir.
Okay?
Yan, sir, okay na.
So, yung compliance requirements, sinet ba yan ng isang agency o yung company lang?
Yung ano, sir, parang tawag dito, requirement siya, sir, ng ano eh. Kumbaga, pinaka-standard siya na kailangan siya ng lahat ng company para mas safe
Okay,
yung...
Kaya nag-ISO 27001.
Opo. Okay
Kaya
na po, sir.
what do you mean by mitigate legal risks?
Teka, sir.
Nagmamadali ka kasi parang ayaw mo matanong.
Kumbaga, sir, parang parang kumbaga kung magkakarisman hindi ganun kabigat kasi nga may alam na sila sa cybersecurity policies nila.
Mabawasan yung effect. When
Opo,
we say
sir.
mitigate, mabawasan yung harmful effects.
Opo.
Okay?
Okay na po, sir.
Sige. Nagmamadali ka masyado.
Paubos na yung oras, sir. May isa pa kasi reporter.
Oo. 9:35 pa lang.
Opo. Okay na po.
Sige.
Sige po. Many industries are subject to regulatory requirements and standards related to cybersecurity. These regulations, such as GDPR, HIPAA, PCI DSS, or ISO 27001, impose specific security and privacy obligations that organization must comply with to protect sensitive data and ensure the security of their systems. Compliance requirements vary depending on the industry and geographic location of the organization. Employees need to be aware of these requirements relevant to their roles to ensure that they handle the data and system in accordance with the applicable regulation. Next. Role-based compliance training. Role-based compliance training ensures employees comprehend and fulfill specific compliance requirements pertinent to their roles. Customized training modules enhance engagement and retention, empowering employees with role-specific knowledge. Practical scenarios elucidate and application of compliance measures within distinct organizational function, fostering contextual understanding. Yan. Training and education. Provide comprehensive training session and resource to educate employees about cybersecurity, best practices, organizational policies, and compliance requirements. This training should be tailored to different roles within the organization and regularly update to address emerging threats and regulatory changes. Next. Employees' responsibilities. Employees are entrusted with the responsibility of familiarizing themselves with cybersecurity policies and compliance requirements. Prompt reporting of security incidents, adherence to access controls, and consensus data handling are fundamental obligations. Ongoing participation in training and awareness program underscores the commitment to maintaining a secure organizational system. Regularly communicate updates to policies and compliance requirements through email, newsletter, intranet portals, or other internal communication channels. Promote cybersecurity awareness campaigns to reinforce the importance of adhering to policies and complying with regulations. Next page. Next. Monitoring and enforcement. Regular audits and assessment evaluate the efficacy of security measures, identifying areas for enhancement. Enforcement mechanism, including the disciplinary actions for policy violation, underscore the gravity of compliance. Constructive feedback and positive reinforcement foster a culture of accountability, driving sustained adherence to cybersecurity protocols. Implementing mechanism for enforcing cybersecurity policies and monitoring compliance. This may include periodic audits, security assessments, and disciplinary action for policy violation by enforcing policies consistently. Employees are more likely to take them seriously and understand the consequences of non-compliance. Overall, familiarizing employees with... Ano po, sir?
Ano tong positive reinforcement?
Kumbaga, sir, dapat suportado nung company yung mga employees kaysa sa pinapagalitan nila kung parang, uy, wag yan, wag ganun. Mas okay yung pagtuturuan sila ng tamang knowledge para hindi nila gawin yung mga dapat nilang hindi gawin?
Wala bang nakakompromise ng mga data pagka nagkakaroon ng ganong interaction?
Paanong mako-compromise po?
Siyempre, di ba, ginawa ko tapos magtatanungan, tapos wala bang,
Yun nga po yun, sir. Kumbaga,
wala
para
bang
maiwasan yung...
mangingialam? Wala bang
Ano po, sir?
mangingialam na ano?
Wala, hindi,
Aspect
yun nga
ng
po yung
company.
pinaka, ano niya, yung pinaka idea niya na mas okay na turuan mo na yung mga empleyado mo through a good way kesa yung, hintayin mo pang may mangyaring ganon, sir.
Okay, sige.
Overall, familiarizing employees with organizational cybersecurity policies, acceptable use policies, and compliance requirements is essential for creating a security-conscious culture within the organization and reducing the risk of cybersecurity incident and regulatory violations. Next reporter.
Banag.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm Harvey Nicole Banag, and I will be discussing security culture and mindset. Next slide, please. So, according to the Security Company International Limited, the security culture of an organization includes staff behaviors about cybersecurity and threat surroundings, awareness levels, security attitudes, and basic knowledge. So, there are 10 reasons why creating a cybersecurity culture is important. First one is proactive versus reactive. Prioritizing security culture helps prevent incidents. Employees can respond effectively to minimize damage, and employee trainings and awareness helps them recognize the and report suspicious activity. Next slide, please. Reputation is key. An organization's customer trust
Wait,
and brand.
excuse me.
Yes, sir.
So, yung number 1, pakibalik mo nga ulit. So, which is, based on your, kung ikaw magbibigay, ano yung proactive versus reactive, which is more, ideal or, advantageous?
I guess for me it's reactive because the more the individual responds, the more na yung feedback, parang ganun. Na more na
Okay.
malalaman mo yung magiging defensive ka in a responsible way.
So, hindi ka preventive, na hintayin mo yung effect, tsaka ka gagawa ng mga, solusyon, gano'n. Kasi reactive
Yes, sir.
ka.
Hintayin mo muna yung feedback bago ka gagawa ng plan para magawan mo siya ng solusyon.
Sige. So, yun ang
Okay.
stand mo. Okay, sige.
Continue na, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sige. Next slide. Reputation is key. An organization's customer trust and brand reputation may suffer greatly from a single cyber attack. Establishing a cybersecurity culture allows organizations to demonstrate their dedication to protecting confidential information, developing client trust, and improving their reputation as a reliable partner. Next is human error is still a thing. So according to Checkpoint Research, 82% of breaches or data breaches in 2022 were caused by human error, including phishing, which already discussed by Mr. Recita, phishing, stolen credentials, and misuse. Additionally, 58% of organizations reported that employees ignore cybersecurity policies. A strong cybersecurity culture fosters innovation and collaboration, allowing employees to reach their full potential and share ideas. Next slide, please. Enhance employee well-being. When companies prioritize cybersecurity and invest in employee protection, it reduces stress, boosts well-being, and enhances productivity. Providing training on securing personal devices and maintaining good cyber hygiene positively impacts overall health. Next is compliance is no longer a core. Organizations can easily meet regulatory requirements, avoid penalties, and maintain their reputation by integrating cybersecurity practices and regulations into employee behavior. Next slide, please. Reduce the duration of incident response. According to BAE Systems and IBM and also Security Magazine, 22% of organizations lack sufficient assets to handle security incidents. Security team takes take an average of 277 days to detect and halt data breaches. There are over 2,200 daily cyber attacks occurring approximately every 39 seconds. Next is protect your IP or intellectual property. Research and development data, trade secrets, and confidential information are valuable assets. A strong cybersecurity culture ensures their confidentiality, availability and integrity. Implementing access controls, encryption, and data loss prevention reduces the risk of theft and unauthorized access. Next slide.
Okay, sandali lang. If I may interrupt lang, no? Hindi naman question. Inano ko lang dun sa nilagay niyo diyan na ano, na cybersecurity is a culture. Tama naman, di ba? Dapat maging kultura, hindi lang basta pinapasunod or kailangan lang gawin, kundi it becomes part of your daily existence sa work. Kaya nga nagiging kultura. And one more thing, we must look at compliance not as a chore. Hindi dahil sa kailangan gawin, trabaho, hindi siya task. Kung hindi part na siya ng daily routine mo, yung kailangan lagi ka nang aware. Hindi na dahil sa trabaho siya. No? Yung compliance to security measures. Okay? Continue.
So next slide. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
Executive and employee cooperation. So according to DCMS and Harvard Business Review, in UK or United Kingdom, enterprises, 82% of boards prioritize cybersecurity, but only 69% of board members and CISOs agree. Additionally, CISO involvement varies, with some boards rarely interacting with their CISOs during presentations. Next is secure sales but loses. When
Use
an org
losses.
yeah, yeah, thank you, sir. When an organization prioritizes security, it inspires confidence, attracts partners, and position itself as an industry leader, leading to new business prospects and higher market share. So next slide, please. Business and suppliers are involved. in the establishment of a security culture. So according to Gartner and Identity Theft Resource Center, in 2022, supply chain attacks surpassed malware-based attacks by 40%, impacting 1,743 companies and 10 million people. By 2025, supply chains will affect 45% of international organization. And this was according to LinkedIn Pulse, 10 reasons why creating cybersecurity culture so important. So next slide.
Ay, pakibalik mo muna 'to sa ano, previous.
Sa,
Tanong ko lang 'no, your personal view or kung ano man yung nabasa ninyo 'no. Bakit 69% lang, yung number 8, bakit mababa yung parang, kung pag-agree 'no, sa board? Anong dahilan kaya niyan? Yung
siguro
pag-prioritize sa cybersecurity.
siguro more likely yung iba more na dine-disregard lang nila yung cybersecurity inside the industry. Maybe hindi nila fina-follow yung rules and regulation and parang hindi pa sila ganun ka-aware since ngayon lang nagkakaroon ng maraming cyber attacks.
Kasi minsan parang kumpiyansa na sa dating system, unless may nangyayari tsaka lang na-a-alerto yung mga companies, 'di ba? Ganun yung
Yes po, sir.
katulad ng mga lumabas na mga phishing na yan, kung wala naman nangyayari mga reklamo, hindi naman nila iniintindi masyado yun, eh. Kaya ang
Yes
sabi
po.
ko sa reactive, 'di ba? Doon ka nagiging sa 'pag may nangyari, may feedback na, tsaka ka magkakaroon ng reaction. Tsaka mo
Yes po, sir.
ini-intensify yung security. Okay, sige. Continue.
So, next slide. Next.
Next slide, please.
That's all pala. May pa-quiz kami kaso recommendations.
Okay.
Next, ano na lang po, next week na lang po sa
Okay,
face-to-face.
okay, tama.
And that's all for our report. Thank you for listening.
Okay, hindi. Bago ko yung sinong may tawag dito?
Questions?
Questions. Okay, tapos tayo, screenshot kasi nag-online tayo, dapat face to face. Kung sino gumagamit ng laptop? Paki kunan ng screenshot. Tapos padala na lang yung screenshot, pwede. Para yung may laptop para sakop yung marami. Tapos ang wala, baka pumasok kay Belmonte, Castro Michael, Clotildes, Gallardo, Jose, Morante, Pido, Ramirez, Roasol, Timbria, tsaka Valdez. Okay. I think baka lang ito hindi na-inform na mayroong pero ang dami nyo eh. Okay? And the following, wala kayo sa record, pakibigay yung full name. Si Abelio, Makilin, tsaka Mongado nagbigay na. Yung Miguel, tsaka Romero, before you leave, bigay mo yung details ng pangalan. Okay? O sige, thank you for the report. Maganda naman, okay. Ang haba pala nung, pero okay lang. O sige, we continue yung exam next meeting, saka konting discussion. Then next reporter tayo, hopefully. Okay? Sige. O padala ng
Thank you, sir.
screenshot.
Okay na po sir, nasa GC na po yung screenshot.
Nasa GC na. Sige, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for attending. O yung mga wala, yung mga sinabi ko absent yan.